First question's from Luke Johnson.
Malcolm, is this week a little bit different than week ones you've had in the past, just considering that the Bucs have so many new guys on offense and that you have no preseason, nothing to really go on?
I mean, it's different in that aspect, but I mean, kind of the same because we're still preparing for a team. Every year, week one going into a season, you don't have that much film on that team already. There's different people that go to that team every year, so I wouldn't say it's too different. I mean, obviously we haven't had any preseason games and been able to work on anything like that. But as far as it being any difference, there's not any. We still preparing the same way, still going about our things the same way we would if it was any other year.
Next question's from Morano.
What do you expect when you face a Tom Brady-led offense? I know even though it's a team, it'll be his first time with the team, and they're obviously going to be doing some different things. But what are some of the consistent things you think you can expect?
I can expect to see running and passing the ball. I mean, the offense is going to get out there and try to, control the offense. We obviously don't know too much about them in that relationship that they have, and if he's going to be running stuff out in the field or, everything's being called off the sideline. But as far as it goes, that's something I can expect is just for some run plays and some pass plays and go out there and play 60 minutes and, finish the game strong, start the game strong.
Next question's from Amy Just. Yeah, when you are facing a team that there's so many new pieces, but with Tom Brady, he's played in the same offense for the past, it feels like 50 years, but it's really only 20. But how do you balance scouting what you've seen from Tampa before versus looking at what Tom has done before?
I don't know. I mean, you kind of prepare for that team. I mean, you kind of, you take everything with a grain of salt because it is a new quarterback and, he's in a different offense and everything. But, I mean, as far as it goes, we just prepare, whatever the coaches put in front of us for us to learn and, go out and execute on Sunday. I think everybody's doing their best jobs, just to get those things down and get their jobs done and, hone in on everything they're supposed to be doing. So I think that's what everything going on right now.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
What's the balance when you're playing a team like them that can spread you out and they got, all the good receivers and then they got Fournette in the backfield too and you can't really just kind of pack in the box? Like, how do you ride that balance? I mean, everybody just got to execute their jobs and be where they're supposed to be whenever, either Fournette has the ball in his hand or, it's a drop back pass or whatever. Everybody needs to be where they need to be. As long as everybody's doing their job at the whole defense, everybody doing that 1/11th of everything, everything else will fall in place and how we want it to go. And, everybody's go out there and play hard and fast and just take care of their business and, we'll be all right.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Yeah, Malcolm, I think a lot of people are kind of just bracing for the weirdness of seeing Brady in a Bucs uniform, but for you specifically, just having been his teammate for a couple of years, have you got your mind around what that's going to be like for you?
Not really. I mean, I don't too much focus on stuff, that I have nothing to deal with, I mean, it's going to be weird seeing him in a different uniform, but I mean, at the end of the day, everybody goes to a different team here and there, and, I was there, I'm here now, so I mean, it's just another game, go out and prepare the same and, go out and do the same things you would usually do wherever you were at. I mean, at the end of the day, your job's on the line every time you touch the field, so I got to go out there and, execute our job. Seeing somebody in a different uniform really doesn't make any difference, and, seeing Tom in a different uniform won't make a difference, and we still got to go out and play against him.
Next question's from Rod Walker.
Hey, Malcolm, I know you're on different sides of the ball, but what are some things that you've seen that Drew and Tom both, what are some similarities between those two?
They win a lot of games, been in the game for a long time, got a lot of success under their belts, that's about as much as I give you. Like you said, I'm on a different side of the ball, so I'm not never nearly that close to them to tell you any differences or whether they have similarities and everything like that. So, like I said, that's about as far as it goes with the comparison with the two. They won a lot of games, very successful quarterbacks, and they lead their teams well.
Next one's from Luke Johnson.
Malcolm, I was looking up the defensive player of the year odds the other day. I think Cam Jordan was like tied for 23rd in that. Do you think that guy gets enough respect league wide for just the play he's had the last couple years?
I don't know, and I don't really even know if he cares too much. I mean, Cam's gonna be Cam, whether it's in the building or out of the building. Very self motivated by himself, and I mean, he don't need too much. To get him going, and he's gonna be who he is at the end of the day. So, I definitely think he's overlooked in that aspect as a defensive player of the year. But he goes out and go play balls out every day. So I got a lot of respect for that guy. Great teammate, great person, in general. But he definitely should be in the talk. But
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
What's been your impression of Malcolm Roach, just on the field and in the classroom?
He's coachable, trying to learn. Trying to get everything down. Playing really well. That's about as far as we've been so far right now with camp. Where we are right now in the season. That's all we can do. Go out and try to learn. He's always open-eared whenever we're talking to him and everything. So, he already has some good positive attributes about himself already.
All right, we should be all set. Thanks, Malcolm.
Thank y'all. Cool. That was good. Thanks.
First question's from Luke Johnson.
Malcolm, I was just wondering if you could fill us in on the project that I guess is out today on Peacock, Black Boys.
Yep. Yeah. So I started my production company, Listen Up Media, about 2 years ago, and this was actually the first project that I was able to come on as an executive producer. And I was really excited about the film because it really explores kind of the spectrum of the humanity of black boys and black men, understanding that we're not monolithic, and really being able to display kind of the fear, the joy, the pain, the love, the creativity that is oftentimes left out of the narrative when we talk about our black boys. We're oftentimes, we commodify the body, but completely ignore the minds of black men. And I think the film does a great job of really putting that on display, but also showing, people how, especially in the education system, as early as, kindergarten, our kids are receiving messages about who they are, and specifically black boys. And that humanity has been under attack since starting at that early age, all the way through adulthood. So it's a project I'm really excited to be a part of, and looking forward to following it up with black girls and working with some women in the industry, maybe the Regina Kings and people like that who really can tell that story about what our black girls are going through.
Next question's from Mike Triplett.
Hey, Malcolm, I know we asked you a lot about how you called yourself a natural introvert before, but I kind of wanted to ask you just about your comfort zone and being in the public eye. I know you talked in the past about even seeing a therapist a little bit when the pressure started to get to you. You lean on a lot of people in your life. I guess my two questions are, why did you feel the desire to push yourself so much, and how has that comfort level grown as you've just taken on more and more?
Well, I think the comfort level of me, speaking on things and leading has always been there, but it's something that is, quite frankly, draining. And for me to be worth anything to anybody else or to lead, I've recognized that I've had to take care of myself as well, and really prioritize, my own health and mental well-being. And so, part of that is talking to a therapist, every week. Because it's just not only the pressure of what's going on in society or leading these different things, but just our job, as athletes, being in the public light, being in a performance-based business where, your performance is your livelihood. A lot of that causes pressure. And it's, these are things that we usually don't talk about as men, as black men, as football players. But it's necessary because a lot of us deal with anxiety, a lot of us deal with depression. And, I'm no exception to that.
That's from Amos Morale.
Talking football, obviously a big matchup this weekend. What are your expectations, and what are you preparing for Sunday's game?
Well, I think the expectations is to see a lot of new stuff. They've obviously added a lot of new people, a lot of new personnel on offense, especially. And so, early in the game, they're trying to figure out what are the concepts and things that they traditionally do, their bread and butter that we've seen on tape from last year and years before. But you also know that there's going to be something that Brady's going to bring and add to that offense. So I think a lot of it is going to have to take some adjustments throughout the game. But they obviously have a very, very talented roster. They got guys that can make plays all over the field. So it's going to be interesting to see those matchups.
Next question's from Amy Just.
Yeah, this season with the Inspired Change program, y'all are going to be able to wear names and phrases. Have you picked somebody out who you want to honor, and then what does that mean to you that y'all are being able to shine yet another light on all of the injustices, as many of the injustices as you can?
Yeah, I think for me and our team, we talked about some different people we can highlight throughout the season. I think week one will be Breonna Taylor for me, but we want to continue to do that throughout the season and draw awareness. But I think the challenge for everybody, not just athletes or NFL guys, but for everybody is to move, not only with the demonstrations and the awareness. I think we're in a place where we're very, very aware. It's how do we move to political engagement? And I think everybody's looking for, what they can do. And there's no way to avoid the politics of the situation, the policy, and the people who have the power to actually create the changes that we want. And those being our elected officials. So I think as a player standpoint, it's great to raise awareness, but the next challenge is how do we ourselves, but also ownership and the league who has so much authority and so much power and leverage in these spaces, how do we get them to utilize that in a political manner to really change what's happening on the street from a policy level.
Next one's from Nick Underhill.
I've heard from a couple people that have credited you for having a positive influence on Patrick Robinson. Can you just speak a little on your relationship with him?
Yeah, P-Rob was drafted in the first round right after me. So we've been friends for a long while. I was one of the reasons he got to Philly, and he had a great year that year. Helped us win the Super Bowl. Was a huge part of what we did in the secondary, and I think P-Rob, like many other people, even like myself, I respond better and play better when I'm in a room with people that I trust and people that are dedicated and accountable to each other. And so I just, you see guys bounce around the league a little bit, and they're different players depending on which locker room they're in. And for me and P-Rob, at least, we've been in some really good rooms together. So and now he's one of those veterans like me. So I just think it's always good to have a friend in the room.
Next one's from Ricardo Lecomte.
Hey Malcolm, from your perspective as a defender, is it impressive to see somebody at the age of 40 or plus playing the quarterback position? Just not only the physical but the mental toll on that, and to follow that up, how impressive and how cool is it that we're going to see this Breeze-Brady matchup on Sunday, just seeing quarterbacks still playing at a high level?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 32, and I can't imagine playing this game at 40 or 40 plus. So for me, it's impressive, and I think everybody still has a tremendous amount of respect for both of these quarterbacks and being still in the top of our league for as long as they've been. They'll both have a gold jacket at some point. So it's always good to see the best matchup.
Last one's from Brett Martell.
Yeah, along the same lines, wondering if you could just reflect on whether this game was special to you in any way, and that you played with Breeze in a Super Bowl against Brady in a Super Bowl, and just encountered them in various times throughout your career. And now, of course, it's the first time in the NFL's century-long history that two over 40 QBs are starring in a game. What do you make of all that?
Honestly, nothing. As a defender, my focus is on how I can make Brady's life miserable on Sunday. I think that the special thing about this game, for me at least, is that it's the week one of our 2020 season. We've got a ton of opportunities. We feel like we have a great shot at doing something special this year, and this is our first opportunity to really compete against another team, and I think that's what makes it special. Anytime we get a chance to touch the grass, and I think that's what the focus is.
Good, thank you.
All right, that wraps it up. Thank you, Malcolm.
Cool, thanks guys.
Hey Malcolm, can I get